I did it. I actually hit record. This was such a process in the making, and here we are. Everyone, hello, I'm Nicole. Welcome to Relatable. It's been a long time coming, but we made it. We got here. This is the pilot episode. I am so excited. Thank you for joining me. And before we start, I just want to say that what we speak about, disclaimer, that the views and opinions don't necessarily reflect the policies and beliefs of Beautiful Revenge Salon, where I work here in Westwood, New Jersey. And the statements made are intended for entertainment purposes only. So with that said, welcome, and I couldn't be more excited. I really had this vision of starting a podcast a while ago, and I feel that it is just a true calling of mine because I have a lot to say, always, and I am quite a chatterbox, not only behind a chair, but in real life too. And listen, there are so many podcasts out there related to hair and beauty, but I really want to touch on just so many other things. And just being in the industry for 22 years, I am an old school Gen X hairstylist and have completely really stayed relevant. And when the only generation to come from a dial-up phone to a cell phone that was the size of, I don't even know what to describe. It was like a box that you carried around with you to, before that was a beeper and then a BlackBerry. And now we have Apple Watches and pretty much things that are computerized beyond belief. And it's full disclosure, I really didn't know how to use a Mac computer, and I had to learn trial and error. So this for me is like a personal feat that I had to accomplish for myself too. I've always loved public speaking, done it kind of my entire life. When I was in high school, I used to do the morning announcements, and there was this whole thing that I announced when I was in high school. And then moving forward into college, I went for radio and television, and I had this dream growing up that I wanted to actually, before doing hair, I wanted to be a female sportscaster. Back in the day, there really wasn't any females that did that. So chasing those dreams, and then I also wanted to get into editing. I wanted to produce a commercial during the Super Bowl. I mean, there's still time for that. So any editing companies, I'm available too on the weekends, I guess. I still work Saturdays, by the way. There's this whole big world out there, insert Instagram and YouTube. And when Reels came out and copy pasting, it was a lot. But the technology has grown, and one thing's for sure, it is not going away. And what the future holds in our industry as hairstylists is either you stay relevant and relatable, or you kind of get pushed into this day by day world of where you stay stagnant. And it's okay if that's where you want to be, and you have your clients, you have your bookings, and that's great, but that wasn't enough for me, and I really wanted to venture out into what my next level was. So I went to college for 2 years, then found this little party life, didn't do so well, and decided to withdraw, was working, and then I did find going to hair school and cosmetology school. I finished that in a year. Went to work in a salon, did an internship for about 2 years, there as a, stylist assistant, and it was a pretty big salon. There was like 40 hairstylists and 25 assistants there. And the funny thing here in New Jersey, there's a state board exam and there's a written and practical. You get your license, you take a math test, and this is how we did it back in the day. And that's 22 years ago. And they don't really teach you much in school because it is basically just to pass that test. So I really did learn mostly hands-on when I was assisting and working under a stylist. Trial and error learning through them too, because you're not exactly hands-on and learning by yourself. So if you have questions and you have a lot of talking to people and clients and confidence, you had somebody who had your back. You weren't really in it to venture on your own. And I think that when I stepped away from that job and started behind my chair, I have been working in this town here in Westwood, New Jersey for 21 years this year. So it's such a small town USA. So I really also want to bring my small town stories, working on this main avenue here, and share this with the rest of the world and share with everybody some of the crazy stories that I've encountered working at the same salon for 17 years and the different things that I've been through as a stylist on my journey and the mistakes that I've made. And of course, after the world shut down, the waves that we had to ride, because I'm at a new salon now, but that's when I really had to refocus my energy into change, which was so scary, especially being an older hairstylist. And that's when I resurrected my Instagram and said, well, I'm going to go all in because I definitely have what it takes. And all of my clients, all of the love, all this authenticity that I've always showed them throughout my career came back full throttle because I was able to maintain my bookings here, and everyone followed me, which I'm so lucky and so blessed. I have amazing clients, and what you see is what you get when you're in my chair. It's all love, it's all respect, it's all authentic, and it's absolutely all relatable. And even if I am having a bad day, an off day, a weird day, everyone is basically on that journey with me in the best possible energy. And I'm always coming with the best vibes and a smile and good work too, because there's a reason why everyone's coming back. And that's what I want for this podcast too. I want everybody to come back, because there's nothing like when you're invested into something and you're growing and you're learning and you're connecting and you want more, because it feels good, and I want to make everyone feel good, and I absolutely want to make people laugh too. Again, we're gonna grow and learn together. We're gonna talk about things that are going on in the industry. I am also a very big advocate of being licensed in this industry. So we're gonna touch on that, and we're gonna touch on etiquette, client relations. We're gonna talk to guests. We're gonna have out-of-state guests. We're going to have guests out of the industry too, just industries in general. And we're gonna bring people in, and we're gonna really just touch on everything relatable. And I'm so happy that you decided to join I'm I'm so excited, and I have to really shout out my mentor who finally got me moving on this. She is also a podcaster, and you can check her podcast out. It's called Let's Just Be Real with Marissa Tong. Marissa, love you. I was a guest on her show, and we talked about women over 40 like myself who stay active, which I think is also so important. I can't wait for her to come on my show, and we are going to talk about the journey that I've had with her, because we have to also stay physically fit and mentally fit in this industry. Don't we know it as stylists? So we're going to touch on that, how mental health has just become so important because of boundaries lacking for years and health issues, standing, not using the bathroom for hours. And it happens to me every day sometimes when I'm here. I said, oh, I didn't eat today. That's why I'm starving. That's why I go home and binge eat, because we didn't schedule that lunch break in. So we have so much ground to cover. I am so excited, and again, it took a lot to get here, but it's going to be fun, it's going to be relevant, and it's going to be hairily relatable. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube Shorts at hairily relatable. I'm your host, Nicole. Thanks again for joining me, and I can't wait to see you. I'm gonna shut this off.